Yes, let's start the paper. I'm going to share the screen as well. When you see the screen, please let me know. Can you see the screen, students? All of you? Thank you for your response. Okay, so here it is, February, March 2023, and the variant is 42 on, and your syllabus code is 0620. Okay, the time given is 1 hour 15 minutes. You have to complete the paper in the 1 hour 15 minutes, and this one is the extended paper 4. Now let's start. Question number 1. The symbol of an element with atomic number from the 21 to 30. So this row is from the transition element. The transition element starts from the 21. Before that we have a calcium here. Okay, so the calcium atomic number is 20, and from 20, after the 20, the atomic number is 21. So this 21 atomic number is for the transit, it starts from the transition element till 30. After 30 we're going to have a representative elements. The transition elements are those which transit their properties. So what are the transition element property? Number one, they have a color, they form a color compound. They have a oxidation, variable oxidation state. They form what? They form a color compounds. 1 minute, let me adjust the font size. Okay, they can form a colored compounds. Okay, they have a variable oxidation state. They use as a catalyst. They have a high melting and the boiling point. The melting and the boiling point is high. Also the density is very high. So these are the few properties which you have to memorize for the transition elements. Got it? 1 second. Now, in the catalyst, okay, now we have to give the symbols. First of all, the symbol of each of the element can be used once, more, or then once, or not at all. Means it's not necessary that all the symbols can be used here. Now, for the question number 1, A is a catalyst in the Haber process. So, acha, in your exam, you have to memorize the few of the catalysts. One of the catalysts is the V2O5, second one is iron, and the third one is nickel. The nickel is an element, iron is an element. So these two are the element form of a catalyst. Remember this point. And then the compound form or catalyst of a transition element is what? Vanadium pentaoxide. This one is a compound form catalyst. Okay. Now, the iron is used in where? Iron is used in the Haber process. So the first symbol is iron here, Fe, and the nickel is used in the contact process. So the contact process is the in the sorry, not the contact process. The nickel is used in the hydrogenation of in the organic compound, the converting of alkenes to the alkanes. Then the third one is a vanadium pentaoxide, which is used in the contact process. Now, is used to galvanize the iron objects. The galvanize, which is also known as saccharification process, this process is used to protect the iron to not get oxidized. So the element which is used here is a zinc. Magnesium can also be used here, but we are provided with the element from a 21 till 30. So you have to give the answer between these elements. So the zinc is the correct answer here. Now, has a blue anhydrous chloride. Anhydrous chloride, that means without a water. Used to detect the presence of a water, means it is used to detect the presence of a water. So anhydrous chloride. Anhydrous chloride means the chlorine compound. So if when they are saying the anhydrous chloride, definitely it is a cobalt chloride. The second compound which is used for the presence of a water is the copper sulfate. So the sulfate is anion present as a sulfate in the copper, and the chloride is present as a anion in the cobalt. So for this, the correct answer is going to be a cobalt. The element is a cobalt here. Anhydrous cobalt is used, which is used to detect the presence of a water. The anhydrous state is the blue color state. When the water is added, the change of a color is pink. And for the copper, the change of a color is from white to blue. Now, is the catalyst used in the reaction of alkenes? What type of catalyst can be used in the reaction of alkenes? So we have a nickel. Nickel is present here in the list. Answer is nickel. Now the next one. Forms a green precipitate when aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide is added to an aqueous solution of its anions of its ions which dissolve in aqueous sodium hydroxide solution. Dissolves in an aqueous sodium hydroxide solution. So if it is dissolved, that means it will not be the iron. Iron ions are insoluble, and the cobalt and the chromium ions are soluble. There is a difference between the iron and the chromium. The iron are soluble and the chromium are insoluble. So the correct answer here is chromium. The both of these ions, iron 2 positive and the chromium with the 3 positive, give the green colors with the sodium hydroxide. Okay, they give the which color? Green color to the sodium with the sodium hydroxide. So the distinguish between the iron 2 positive and the chromium 3 positive is what they are. One is the soluble, another is the insoluble. The irons are the insoluble and they turns into a brown precipitate, and the chromium are soluble and they turns into a green solution. Now the next one. Forms an ion that has 24 electrons with a charge of a 3 positive. So if the 3 positive and has 24 electrons, the charge of 3 positive means the loss of 3 electrons. So if we go above here, so we have to check when the ion is formed and the number of electrons are were 24. So some of the students think that the answer is the chromium. No, the answer is the cobalt here. The 27, for the 27 it will lose the 3 electron, loss of 3 electrons here, and when the 3 electrons are lost, it will gain a 3 positive charge. So the answer is cobalt. Forms an ion that has a 24 electrons, not an atom. If the sentence written here, the forms an ion that atoms have 24 electrons with a charge of a 3 positive. So the correct answer is cobalt here. Now the next one. Forms brass when mixed with a copper. Which element forms a brass when mixed with a copper? Is a zinc here.